never forget that it is the Constitution.
What'd you say?
It says never forget that is the Constitution we are expounding. Clout versus mind.
Alright.
It's in the Supreme Court at like 1819.
1819. We're in the Supreme Court visiting the law. You know the law. This visit is all about the law. We ain't rapping about it. We showing you about the law. Alright. That's Sandra Day O'Connor. She's the Supreme Court Justice. We doing a streets to the seats situation here. Tell them about what you're getting ready to do.
Being in here, of course, lets me know how much more I got to bring awareness to the disenfranchised as well as the oppressed in reference to the laws and legislation that is against us and what laws and legislation we can put into empower us. But if we ain't here to see how far we are or how close we are, you know, we basically failed the plan and plan to fail.
So you gotta learn the courts. It's a gift shop. I ain't looking for gifts. Yeah. All right. This is the clerk of the court. And this is where you get access to the Supreme Court. This is where you get access to the Supreme Court. You got to go through the clerk. All right. A closer look at the office of the clerk. Admitting attorneys. All right. Giving advice. All right. And this is printing for a pauper. That means that you can approach the Supreme Court with no money in your pockets. You can go as an indigent. And that's the case I'm talking about. A right in the handwritten petition used in Gideon versus Wainwright in 1963. That's about knowing the law and using the law for you. Like I said, this is about the law. And this is where you come and file it. All right. Come file your claims right here in the Supreme Court. And you access the Supreme Court. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my case where y'all took my property and y'all took my right to work. I'm gonna take that case and toss it with that toilet. I'm gonna bring it to the Supreme Court. It's gonna be like Dred Scott and my right to property. It's gonna be Dred Scott 2016. All I'm gonna do is get some University of Maryland law students and some Baltimore College law students, and we're gonna prepare a brief as an indigent, because I'm an indigent. I'm a homeless individual. I have no money, and y'all keep shutting me down. So we're gonna put an end to all that. We're gonna take you to court, and I'm gonna use your laws and your justice to get me justice. It ain't gonna keep being just us. And on the way to court, me and my brother here is gonna educate the masses about the grand jury. We're gonna educate the masses about approaching court and how to defend yourself. Dog, we're gonna be good at that. We are good at this.
Come on, man. We definitely got to put our skin in the game. Being the political arm of 300 gangsters as well as the political arm of the, street liaison, we definitely got to come to the streets, to the seats, forums to get the overstanding that is needed. Because again, we behind on the game.
So we're gonna continue this tour of the Supreme Court. Just won't let me switch. All right. We just showed you Wainwright, so you can't approach the Supreme Court as a broke person, as a pauper, as an indigent with no money. Just because you ain't got no money don't mean that you can't get into a courtroom. They can't deny you access to the court because you broke. Alright. You gotta know the law to beat the law. I beat the law and I use the law to do it. You don't see a whole lot of people of my color in this hallway. You know what I'm saying?
So I should be here. Just visiting.
That's Thurgood Marshall. That's public accommodations. That's what we got to start doing. If we don't make change in the courtroom, they're going to continue to treat us like they treat us in the streets. Police brutality, all that crime, that's been going on since the 60s, the 30s, for over 400 years. And we got to find a way to beat them in the court. That 13th Amendment give them the right to do it. So we need to repeal the 13th Amendment or use it for us. Take us to court as a people, as a color, as a people of color. All right? Let's get justice around here instead of some Mickey Mouse that y'all are doing around here. All right? 20th century justice around here. Like I said, we educating around here. We teaching people about the law around here.
Y'all gotta get on y'all game. There's a lot of boots on the ground, but where's your mind at? Yeah, I'm up here. I'm up here. It's my first time here. It's my last time here. It's like I'm in San Diego. It's like I'm in Minneapolis.
Which way out? That way?
Back to the left. All right.
Make a right. All right, we getting ready to get out of here so we can go see the senators and the congressmen. But we say a jury of our peers. That's not a jury of my peers. That's not a jury of my peers. Know about where the law came from. That's Greek mythology. All right. The guardian of liberty. And none of us was at that seat. All right, plans to become reality. That's when they built the Supreme Court. And this is what this is what it looks like with the judges behind the bench. I'm going to empower you to get your freedom. I'm going to revisit Garveyism. I'm telling you, I'm going to show you how to use the law. Justice is supposed to be blind. Well, we're going to put it to the test. Because the way I seen justice is just affecting us. It's just that simple.
Look at that. Oh. Come on, man. We got to get in the game, man.
Supreme Court and segregation.
Look at that, man. They killing us.
Here go Thurgood Marshall. And that's what we got to hit next. We got to act like Thurgood Marshall. We got to get skin in the game and beat them at their own game. So I hope you're enjoying this educational tour. See, we ain't always just about protesting and barking at people. We're about educating you, showing you about the things that you should learn about your country and the way that your country is supposed to defend you. Constitution is supposed to work for us, but our hands ain't written in that book. You feel me? Don't take no high school graduate to figure that out. If you was killing white people the way that you killing black people, would the Supreme Court have let this go on? Wouldn't you have cases in front of the Supreme Court by now? If you was lynching white people, if you was police brutality the way that you're doing black people, man, come on, we got to do this shit in court. Because if we do it in the streets, all you're going to do is murder us. To dismantle the master house, you got to use the master's tools. You got to learn how to read the law. You got to learn how to interpret the law. You got to learn how to use the law. It's a legal apprentice. All right? Learn how the law works. Classroom studies, private law schools. Dude, you can learn the law by reading at night if you like reading books. You can learn the law. It's not against the law to learn the law. All right. I'm outside, cuz. How you doing? Wow. All right. Okay, we up in D.C. We doing a political agenda here. We about the streets to the seats. We want our representatives to come to our communities and talk to us and speak to us. And we want our cases taken and heard in front of courts. We tired of plea deals and bargaining. We want 12 to tell us we did something wrong. If you had them 6 officers get off for killing Freddie Gray, we're going to stop taking these plea deals and we're going to start loading the court up with our cases. We're going to show you what being black in America really is. It's legalized slavery, 13th Amendment. That's some real shit. And I've been talking about this since 2006. This ain't nothing new, you know? So, hope y'all paying attention. We're going to Congressman Cummings' office next. And I am not in by myself. Me and this man been doing this for a while. First time we met was in the Towson courthouse. You feel me? You got a message. You got a message.
The message I got. The message I'm gonna say that even the knowledge that I got from here to that little Annapolis knowledge of just looking at that wall, of not even saying no brown or no Chinese, not saying it in a bad way, but I can understand why a lot of the laws of the United States are murdered when we can't complain. We gotta get in the game, man. And I want to start riding some brothers from out of Baltimore, political aware college kids, or whoever who's willing to talk from a seat standpoint to our community. We got to start from the ground up and get them out here, because I was even a little humble walking through here, and just looking at the wall lets me know why we're in the conditions we are.
All right, tell them about what you're doing this month. Your Streets to the Seats event.
The Streets to the Seats event is exactly what I was just speaking of. It will bring more awareness, more understanding, more relation to seat holders, as well as the street people, to be able to get an understand that yes, you can run yourself. You know, you can actually hold more accountability by coming up here. You can hold more accountability to some of the things that may not be addressed in Baltimore. You may want to overwrite. You know what I mean? You might want to have to, do different legislation to get it as far as the Supreme Court, like Shorty in some of his cases. He done took them from the city to the state to the, all he has cases here. So him doing it by himself, he can't fight your war for you. But again, the Streets to the Seats will be able to basically address people, to be able to even have avenues to get here and get a more better understanding and get more schooled about the legislative process and how our country is ran and where we want to take it. But if we don't know the groundwork, and that's what Streets to the Seats will get the education about, where we need, that's going to be the motive. That's going to be the motive. The people going to be the motive. Streets to the Seats will be the cargo.
Keep it moving, baby. Keep it moving. Did we see Cummings earlier?
We definitely saw him, and it was wild because for him to be a representative of Maryland, that just gave us more confirmation that we should, that I should have been. About a million years the banger left. and to see the representative of our city. And that goes to show, even if you do get the regular seat holder that we want in there, and we don't have that back. I'm not talking about Cummins or nothing like that, but I'm talking about even when we do get people in there, and we don't have that back or have that back when they put legislation out there, you know, they just a teardrop in the ocean and trying to get some things done for us. If me and Shorty ran and you didn't help us and you didn't support us when we say something going on in the community and you gotta go to work, it falls on deaf ears. So that's what I'm really trying to let people know about skin in the game. It's time to put, I'm all the way from, you know, boom, it's in here in the Supreme Court. I got the call, Shorty asked me and I came, and I'm glad I came, man. It humbles me, man. I got a lot of work to do when I start these streets to the seats.
Like I said, if you ain't willing to put in the time and the effort, then y'all gotta get up off your asses by the masses. It don't take much. If you can't participate in the march, man, participate behind a computer.
Cold-blooded. I would hope that we would
play in your lane, man.
Cold-blooded. Like, it's a lot of kids or people who is actually, you don't have to go to, let's say you don't want to do the college thing, sit down, and you can do it just what they call guerrilla style. Grab your composition notebook, grab your books, grab your little joint, and just walk up in here and, like, you know, this is where you actually can, you know, probably meet somebody while they're in the park and just really get the scoop on how it is from the horse's mouth, then go to school or something. But to just do nothing, God, that's not an option. It's two ways of this fight, baby. On the ground and in the classroom, and we just left the classroom. That's the classroom.
We gotta beat them in their house, dog. And behind us, that's their house.
That's their house. Yo, look how big that motherfucker is.
Mass incarceration is taken away from my community, cuz mass incarceration is locking up 2.5 million people in my community.
Cold-blooded,
it's returning ex-felons to the streets with nothing. You know what I'm saying? So to beat them, we gotta meet them where they at.
It's not just on the ground, yo. A kid could fight, yo. A kid could get mad. But as I see what I was just witnessing, like I said, with 300 gangsters of being a political arm, I got to make sure my men don't go down as well as my city. Mass incarceration ends and starts where I just left from. I just need you to wake up.
Mass incarceration is legalized slavery. We traded the penitentiary for the plantation, cotton for cocaine, and our black asses is the cash crop. And we still trade it right here at the Senate and the Congress with our senators and our congressmen. Now they want to talk about mass incarceration because it's starting to affect the white class of people. Dog, y'all been on drugs just as long as we have. Only thing is y'all get drug rehab. We get 20 to life.
Well, just like in Howard County, you understand and overstand that they had 16 deaths off of heroin and said they had a drug epidemic and sent counselors, the National Guard, and everybody out there Anne Arundel County, but that's cool though.
You ain't sending that on North Avenue.
Cold-blooded, you know what I mean? They don't do that.
How you doing?
That's cool though. But the thing about it though, we had some buses up here. I gotta get y'all in Annapolis. I gotta get y'all.
Y'all gotta start registering to vote.
Cold-blooded, man.
We gotta put our own faces in these seats.
We
gotta remove these old people that ain't been doing their job for 20 and 30 years that been selling us out.
Yo, the register to vote thing get you in the jury box, yo. You already participating in mass incarceration if you ain't in that jury box getting some of our men and women home from out that systematic racism. And again, once the jury speak, it's too hard for me to get them home, yo. It's too hard. We got brothers who know they ain't do it, you know, but the jury spoke is what they say.
They ain't even went to the jury, dog. They pleaded out. They didn't even want to take that chance. Yeah. We're going to stop that plea deal. We're going to meet you in the grand jury box. We're going to dispute the evidence that you put against us. We're going to show you about that mass incarceration, how that racketeering, that criminal enterprise is run. Right behind us. That's how they do that, son. To know how to beat the law, you got to know the law.
I'm dressed as the people I represent. You can even come up here like this. I'm dressing as the people I represent.
We wearing hoodies.
Come on, man.
And I'm country dumb, but I'm city slick. I'm good with this. They loving this.
Your taxpayers' money, but look what your taxpayers' money are paid for, though. If you look behind us,
we ain't gonna photobomb you.
No.
Let me move out your way.
If you look behind us, they doing construction here. They doing construction out City Hall. You see how they try to take care of the buildings
instead of the people.
Brick and mortar, like CVS that was done a year later, but we still dealing with schools with lead in the water. It stands for accountability from the people, man. We gotta go a little bit harder, yo. You see how what we call it, take it to the house. Ain't know what they said in football when you get an interception? Well, we intercepting the systematic racism they plan for us, and we about to take it to the house.
We getting ready to go to the Redmer building. We're gonna see Congressman Cummings, Congressman Connors. We're gonna testify in front of the Senate and the Congressional Judiciary Committees about mass incarceration. We're gonna talk about solitary confinement. We're gonna talk about the issues that affect our community. Y'all, we ain't talking about Black Lives Matter right now. Because right about now, the lives that mass incarceration is affecting ain't nothing but black people. You're affecting brown people. You're affecting poor white people. So now we are unpaid lobbyists for our community. We don't get paid to do this, but it got to get done.
Yeah. I'm trying to see who's trying.
All right. Anybody can do what we do. All you gotta do is get up off your posterior, come on down to Washington, D.C., contact your representatives, go to their offices, say what you gotta say, let them feel what you feeling, because they represent you. It's called checks and balances.
Yo, what do an elder supposed to get up that step and represent? Look at all them steps alone.
Well, that's why they got elevators.
Nah, they wasn't expecting you in 1960 to go up there. They ain't expecting you to go up there now. If you ain't no bit about 35 and under, you ain't trying to see them steps. But if that's the steps we got to take for the justice we need, we'll walk every one of them motherfuckers with no leg. My nigga Big Wolf will walk up that motherfucker with one leg if it's about real equality. But we know equality ain't just right there on no motherfucking paperwork. It's from the streets to the seats, from the legislation to the boots on the ground. That's how you see change, yo. You can't one-side this shit, yo. You can't just have a tie on and think you winning, and you just can't have no boots on. You see, I'm up this motherfucker walking in my Chuck Taylor shoes. Fuck you.
Anybody welcome to walk in our shoes, dog. This ain't hard to do. It just need to be done. All right, we're gonna save this feed for when we get inside the building.